Hi everyone, this is Jason Hooksma and Tiffany Benson at the Oxford Community Garden, and in this instructional informational video we're going to demonstrate a weeding technique where we use a garden fork to loosen the weeds before pulling them. So first Tiffany's going to say something about the difference between a garden fork and a pitchfork.
So these are two different tools that are useful in the garden. This is a pitchfork. Pitchforks have long, thin tines. Garden forks are decidedly more sturdy. The tines are wide and flat and very sturdy. A pitchfork is good for using for say leaf mulch, putting that into your wheelbarrow. It's not as good for weeding because it's just not as sturdy. And so what we want to use for this task is a garden fork.
Okay, so show us, Tiffany, what you would do with the garden fork if you have a patch of weeds that you're going to work on.
So if you look at this patch right here, this is pretty much Bermuda grass, dandelions, there's some vetch in here, maybe some, a little bit of chickweed. I don't really see a lot of chickweed, but this is a pretty dense mat of weeds. And what you want to do, if you try to just pull up some of these weeds, you just kind of leave the roots. What you don't want to do is leave the roots. To get the roots, the garden fork is really useful for getting down into the ground, loosening the weed up at the roots, and if you just put the fork down underneath the plants like this, even just anywhere in this sod like this, breaks up the root mass. You can hear it breaking up, and it's real easy then after this to use a spade or even just your hands, depending on how effective it's been, but just to get up underneath there, pull out a root, pull out a weed, the roots and all. And that works for these kinds of weeds that have a long single taproot. It also works for Bermuda grass or any other kinds of weeds. We've got vetch here. It works for the vetch too. Pulling up the weed, the roots there.
Great.
These all go in the wheelbarrow. You can take them to the trash pile.
And where do we put weeds when we've pulled them? There are a couple of different options, right?
To be safe, they go to the trash pile at the back of the garden.
And the trash pile is way at the back, over there behind the leaf mulch pile, back in the corner behind that big shrub. And when in doubt, put organic material back there. If you've got plant material from your plot, or maybe some real young weeds that don't have any seeds, then you can probably put them into one of the compost bins. But if in doubt, bring it out to the trash pile at the back of the garden. Okay, that's all for this video, and we hope to see you at the garden soon.